Hi, I think we're live. Hopefully, just gonna put in the shit. So yeah, thank you so much. I'll wait till some more people get in to the stream. But thanks everyone who joined now live and also afterwards, obviously watching this later on. A little bit about the background of this sort of topic that I want to sort of discuss today. I bought a pretty decent sort of collection of Record Collector magazine. I think I'm probably one of the last persons in the world that reads a physical magazine, but I love it. It's the best thing. And I remember from childhood getting those magazines, music magazines, and reading them was sort of a blast. I think the oldest one I have is from, that I still kept, is from 2006. So I got this for next to nothing because people are throwing them out. So I went through some of just flipping through the magazines, and I stumbled upon this. So this is the earliest one of the Record Collector magazines that I have that actually has sort of a list of most valuable records of all time. Obviously, this is a UK magazine, so it's going to be UK. I think at least UK records. So when I stumbled upon that, I remember that this was the first one that I had, that I kept. So this is my copy that I had. And this is 250 most valuable records. Moving on a little bit later, they did 200 rarest records of all time. And the last one I have with this sort of topic is from 2012 called Rarest Records Today, 200 Rarest Records Today. So I was sort of sitting in my sofa and just thought that maybe we could go back in time, check out how did they, or what value did records have in 2004 compared to today in 2024. And what I thought was interesting is that back in 2004, sure, we had internet. I think we had internet at least, but maybe it wasn't that big when it came to record collecting. If I remember correctly, the least amount of records sold ever in the history of vinyl records were in 2001. So I guess that in 2004, it wasn't that cool collecting records. And compared to today, how have the sort of the market for really rare records developed? So I'm going to flip my screen. We are going to read a little bit together from this. And when we find something we think is interesting, I'm going to flip the screen and we go to Popsike and to Discogs and see what the records cost today. I'm also going to have these in front of me if we want to sort of check out if the lists change over the years and so forth. And as always, I want this to be a sort of I'm sending this live. I'm not doing this as a video and putting up later on. So obviously I need you guys to help me out here. Throw comments at me, be active in the chat, in the live chat, because if you aren't that, then it's harder to do this. And Jonas from Vinyl Stockholm, always a blast seeing you. Hi. And yeah, I bet it's been a long time since you read those, at least those from back in the day. Do you, or anyone in the chat, do you have these still? Do any one of you guys collect or sort of have saved them? Let me know in the chat. Ragged Trouser Vinylist, good afternoon, Jonas. I was a little bit grumpy earlier. Apologies, no offense taken at all. We chatted a little bit on Instagram, and you had some comments about like the value of records, and it's a nice. Maybe we'll scratch the surface of that discussion later on here. Obviously, there's economical value and there's musical value, and we are all here for the music. Otherwise, we wouldn't sort of, I guess, collect these. We could collect coins or stamps or whatever because we love music. So that's why we have libraries of it. But at the end of the day, I think that there is definitely something called like collectability of a record and value, economical value. And we'll explore that a little bit today. So that's awesome. Christopher, hi. Hope your vacation was good. I know that you were on a vacation. You looked awesome on the pictures, as always, especially when the sun is hitting your face. Just talking. Okay, so let's start. I know some of you are huge, like 7-inch collectors. I'm gonna see if I can find some 7 inches, stuff like that also. But when it comes to like acetates, or so let's go to the last one, because if we take the absolute rarest piece of music, it's always been this when it comes to UK records. It's the Quarrymen, That'll Be the Day and In Spite of All Danger, valued in 2004 to £100,000. And I guess that the value of that has only gone up because this is the first real sort of record from the Beatles, or parts of the Beatles anyway. So I'm not going to talk about that. We all know that is a piece of very valuable UK record, obviously, and no one can buy this. So you can't really sort of compare this to anything. And I love comparing stuff. My wife says that all the time. Next one, also the Quarrymen. So I'm going to skip that. Moving a little bit further, you have the Beatles. And I don't think that is something that we can discuss. Also, the Sex Pistols, God Save the Queen, and then Queen, a blue single that is Rarest, Hen's Teeth. So I'm not going to dive into that. What I want to explore is the stuff that you could actually get your hands on. If you only had the money to throw at it. So not the one-off, extremely rare stuff, because that's pretty uninteresting in my opinion. Which leads us to go pretty far back, I think, with this, because there is just super expensive 7-inch singles that no one knows anything about. But I'm going to start here. Then I'm going to go from the back and forward, because this was the one that actually started it all off for me about this topic. This is Billy Nicholls. Would You Believe? I know that there's a guy that just got this in the Bosch, I think, and I can't remember what he paid. But back in 2004, this is 20 years ago, this was valued at 2,000 British pounds. 2,000 pounds. And I think that the value has gone up a little bit today. So let's just take that as an example, see what we can find on Popsike and Discogs, and if you actually can buy it today. So I'm sharing my screen here now. Let's do it a little bit bigger. There you go. Okay, hopefully everyone can see this. So Billy Nicholls, 2L, Nicholls. There you go. Oh, I have it in my want list. The UK immediate, 1968. So what do we have here? Okay, so back in the day, this was valued 20 years ago, £2,000. Now, today, this is Swedish crowns. So take away a zero. That would be the most sort of easiest way to do this. But today, it's 3,800 pound median, or dollars. Let's say take dollars or euro, because they are closely together. But it has sold for 106,000 Swedish crowns, which is 10,000 euro. Hope I get that right. So obviously this has gone up in value. It's even harder to get now than 20 years ago, probably because people are if they found one, they are holding on to it. There's not many that flourish on the market. So yeah. I'm going to go back a little bit. I'm listening to EST live in London while watching. Cool. Awesome. Tjena Hans, I will send you something for Christmas you don't have. Oh, shit. You don't have to send me anything, Hans. But thank you so much. Okay, so if you're just getting into this, this is a record collector, 100 most valuable UK records of all time, but 20 years ago. So I'm going to start from the beginning. Let's see here. And I haven't prepared anything. I'm reading this. It's called Vista or something like that. Let's take this Wooden Horse. The Wooden Horse self-titled, no, Wooden Horse 2. This is one I don't know anything about. It's valued at £800. Wooden Horse were an unofficially tuneful folk act with a fluttering lineup, something like that. Do you know about this record? If anyone wants to join me, just jump in, just jump in and we'll be two up here making fools out of ourselves. Let's go to the Discogs page and see. Wooden Horse 2, all versions. So valued at £800, which is around €1,000, maybe €1,000. Today, it has sold for 4, but also 13,000 Swedish crowns. I should change that to euro, but it's like 400 up to 1,300 euro. Sorry, let's see if I can change that. Should have done this before. Sorry. I'm new to this streaming thing. Buyer seller collection, maybe. It's 2 seconds. Hopefully I can. Fuck. Sellers lab. No. Yeah. No. Listing currency doesn't help me at all. Okay. Fuck it. So what did you do this Sunday? Well, I watched a Swede making a fool out of himself. So in my opinion, I think that Wooden Horse in this case actually have gone down in value. Do you agree with me? Like £800 20 years ago, and someone has got this for €500. There's no for sale, so, and there are a lot of wants and have not that many have. So I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Dr. Ashia Ross, the Flying Eagle. We have Little Wilbur, Cupids, Granny. That's a great one. Granny has been reissued, I think, by Gershon, or is it anyway? So LP private press, £850 back in the day. So let's see what we can dig up today, shall we? Granny, like that. Granny. Yeah. Guess is this like private pressed on SRT? Let's see here. Yeah, obviously no one has been sold. Let's go for Popsike instead. I actually pay for my Popsike. Let's go high to low. I think that there's only a bunch of different. So 2014, 19, 10, 13, 16. I need a closer date. 2004, which this 20 years ago. 22. Granny served private press, original picture sleeve only. Okay. 2019, 99 only Granny, so pressed. £4,400, and 2004 this was valued at £850. So obviously it went up A little bit. Any comments on that? Let's see here. Hi from South Africa. Hi. Awesome that you could join. British pound 2004 is 192 today. Okay, cool. 1 pound, 1.2 today. Okay. Hard to say. It hasn't been sold for 2 years. Yeah, that's exactly. Digging up your granny. Sorry. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, let's go to the next one. Alexis Corner Blues from the Roundhouse. It's a 10-inch. Maybe not that. Nip Slip by the Clovers. Gold label lettering, 1956. It's probably a pretty hard one to also. Thor's Hammer I've seen a lot of times when it comes to these sort of lists. Let's go with that one. Thor's Hammer. Thor's Hammer. I actually don't know if it's this Thor's Hammer. I'm not a 7-inch collector, so excuse me. Thor's Hammer. Maybe. Let me know if you see it. It's turning out to be the worst stream ever. Okay, so is this it? Love Enough If You Knew. Thor's Hammer. My Life. No, but maybe we're on path to something on memory. If You Knew or Love Enough. No, it's that one. It's fucking strange. It's like 100 euro or 350 euro. 168 ones, 28 halves. That can't be right, can it? Do you know anything about this? Extended play? No, that's not the same at all. Everyone's shouting in the chat now. You have the wrong one. No. Swedish collector Jörgen from Tracks on Wax made a major discovery, a previously undocumented set of superb pop and wild freakbeat recordings on Polyphone in 1992. Okay, let's go to another one. Forever Amber. This is a good one. So that this is a collector's item of the stuff that I collect. The Love Cycle, Forever Amber. It was in 2004. It was valued at £1,000 by Record Collector magazine. Let's check if that has changed. Just want to find something that is like that you can buy today. Let's be this one, Advanced or Swank. Yeah, Advanced. Shit. Okay, so 6,900 euro. It's only been sold like in 2017, and no one's up for sale today. And maybe this is a bad way to go because Discogs is what Discogs is, isn't it? So let's go to Popsike, see if we have any more data there. I'm sorting this now at high to low. And in 2014, this was sold for £4,667. So that's 10 years after this was this magazine was pressed or issued, and obviously they valued it at £1,000 back in the day, and 10 years after, it's a 4,667 record. Pretty neat. That's pretty neat. Does any one of you have that or have seen it? No. That's kind of cool. So it tripled in price over 10 years. I don't know if it kept that sort of momentum, but if it hasn't been sold on eBay, so they don't log it on Popsike, or on any for sale on Discogs, then I guess that it's not easy to see. On place number 53, we have Howard Riley Trio with Discussion. I think that's also one that is fairly known. So let's see if we can find that one. Howard Riley Trio. Howard Relay Trio. Riley Trio Discussions. There you go. Okay, so this was valued at £1,000 in 1968 record, and in 2004, £1,000. Which is the equivalent of 10,000 Swedish crowns, maybe. But as you are also suggesting in the comments, I mean, we have to maybe sort of count the inflation with £1 is worth more today than it was yesterday. I'm making a fool out of myself. So, okay, yeah. But anyway, so one for sale. This is the first one on their list in 1953. There's one for sale. VG copy for €2,300, which is about double in price compared to what it was worth in 2004, according to Record Collector magazine. Just going to keep on going. Do you have any questions, or do you want to feel free to just like jump in and ask or just shout something out if you are if you want. So number 53, we have Wings, Back to the Egg, and Queen, The Complete Works. It's sort of a box set. Meet is Murdered by the Smiths, test pressing, so I won't go into that. Let's see here if it should be more like Psych records. The Blue Men, I Hear a New World. This is one that I see on different sites or lists. The Blue Men. I want to dive into that. Let's check it out. The Blue Men. Mm-hmm. Oh. No. Okay, Hear a New World. Hear a New World on Triumph TRX. Triumph, I hear new advanced test pressing. So there's only a test pressing. Unreleased LP. Okay, one have 192. So that doesn't count. Does it? Led Zeppelin, A Whole Lot of Love, The Barons, Don't Walk Out, Once in a Lifetime, Friends, from 1974. White label test pressing also. Pretty unexciting list, I have to say. I'm going to jump to another one of the magazines. But this is kind of cool. That's the Dark record, dark around the edges. It was valued at £1,800 in 2004. Last it sold, it went for €50,000, which is kind of neat. Okay, I'm jumping into this one. This is the 250 most valuable records of our time. And this was put out in 2006. So let's go through this. We'll do some like, don't have to go through it, but okay, yeah, here we go. So on 250th place, we have Granny. We already looked at that. It's valued at 500 pounds in 2006. So this is just 2 years after the first lists of valuations. Back then, they said it was an 850 euro record. So it has actually, in 2 years back in the day, it actually plummeted like 200 pounds, which is kind of neat. But we know better today. Ithaca, a game for all who knows, is on number 249. 5 Day Rain, Charge, and David Bowie, Charles Blackwell, Birds, and P.P. Arnold. This P.P. Arnold record, I know it's a rare one, but is it like on 240th place? First Lady of Immediate. Let's check it out. I know that Charlie Records has just put out a awesome reissue of that. I tried to buy it at Dan Bosch Record Fair, but it were already sold out. So Immediate, UK, 1968. Yeah, this is awesome. So back in December 2006, this was valued at 500 pounds. I don't know if you see that. But today it's more like 150 pound up to like maybe 450 pound record. So even the highest price it has gone for on Discogs is not even up at 2006 rate. That's kind of cool. And if you want to buy one, you can buy one in like VG Plus condition for 280 euro. So that's pretty cool. So, and this is what I'm after with this. Like in 2004 and 2006, I bet you that internet wasn't that big, and it wasn't as easy as it is today to find records and just buy them and get them shipped to your door in a week's time if you live on the other side of the pond. So I mean, with the boom of vinyl and with the help of platforms like Discogs, maybe it's easier than ever to get your hands on those rare items, which means that they get, or maybe they are valued even less than 20 years ago. I think that this is a pretty good example where P.P. Arnold, the First Lady of Immediate, was a 500 pound record, and now it's maybe more of a 200 pound record in 20 years time, after 20 years. And that's kind of neat. I don't know if you agree with me or if there's anything like really to agree about, but yeah, let's take some chats here. For me, it would be an original pressing versus a modern reissue. I prefer originals as it captures the technology of the time in time. And I completely agree with you. I try to and always strive to get the original pressing or as early pressings as I possibly can. I follow my tummy, and it tickles more in my tummy to get an original press than a reissue. But with that being said, there are tons of records that is super hard to get or insanely pricey or you haven't stumbled upon them yet and stuff like that. And then it tickles my tummy to get the reissue. So I get the reissue. I just did a recent vinyl finds going out with Jazz Records actually going out tomorrow. But some of the records that I showed there, I traded new audiophile pressings against earlier, not original pressings, but early pressings. And I feel like I don't need the 70s issue of a Mingus record if I can have the awesomely sounding reissue, audiophile reissue. Okay, yeah, another example where I think it's the completely other way around compared to the P.P. Arnold record is this one, this Leaf Hound, Grower of Mushrooms. This is a Decca record from 1971, and in 2006, this was valued at £550 by Record Collector magazine. And I have to be honest, if anyone asks me if I wanted that record for £550, I would probably say hell yes. Let's see what it goes for today. Leaf Hound. Leaf Hound. I think that there's at least one up for sale. There's the Decca. Son of a bitch. No value. I know there's a bug in Discogs where the median and highest have fell off the page, but a VG Plus issue by a new seller, so probably not even a real one, is $12,000. So it went up a little bit from £550 to, yeah, but there's a reason why it's not selling. So the median is 4,600 and the highest is 8,500 euros, about that. Kind of cool. So 5,600 it's a zero more in 20 years. So talk about an investment. Imagine you buying this in 2026 for £550 as an investment. That is, I mean, it's better than stocks. I think so, at least. Okay, moving on. Let's see here. We have a bunch of this is much more exciting than this first list I went to visit. Let's see here. We also have Red Dirt. I know, I think there were two, I might be mistaken, but I think there were 2 copies of the Red Dirt record in Den Bosch when I was there now. And in 2006, this was valued at £550 plus. So let's see how that has developed. Red Dirt. I actually have that in a reissue. That sounds pretty good. On the Fontana label. So here, let's go with this. So as we can see, this is a 1,500 euro median and 3,800 euro at its highest. If you want VG plus copy today, you are looking at £2,750, which is about £2,200 more than 20 years ago. So again, if you bought this for £550 back in the day, it was a pretty good investment. But if you're new to this stream, we also took a look at P.P. Arnold's The First Lady of Immediate, and that had plummeted in value. So it goes to show that not all records, maybe not all genres, are always just climbing up. Maybe there is genres and records that actually goes down. This is also one that I know. Mellow Candle, that's an easy one. But Cobus, I want to explore this. The Cobus, this was a £600 record. The rare Psych Pop Gem is by Liverpool band. So let's take a look at that. A Columbia record. Cobus. Don't have a reissue of that, or don't even think I've heard it. Cobus. Does any one of you have this record? Columbia mono or stereo? Let's see here. Cobus SCX. So the stereo is a £600 record. 20 years ago. Holy shit. So, okay. So what we have here is 1,100 euro median and 1,500 like euro at its highest, with $1,100 if you want a copy today from a pretty reliable, seems at least, seller. So again, if you bought this for £600 back in the day, 20 years ago, it was a pretty nice investment. Let's see if we can take something that isn't Psych, because if there's something we have seen now, it is that Psych seems to just have gone up, whilst Soul and Pop, if we can call P.P. Arnold Pop, has gone down. I know that this one, the Vashti Bunyan, it's on number 202 of the 250 most valuable records of all time. The Diamond Day record is that back in the day, 20 years ago, this was £600 record, and it's a lot more today. I think that, I mean, maybe a £2,000 record today. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Flamingos, that's a 7-inch brute force, King of Few. Roy Brown, I'm Sticking With You. David Bowie, a lot of 7 inches here. Rolling Stones Golden B-sides. Don Wood's Memory of an Angel, also a 7-inch. Radio Gaga, Pink Floyd, Paul McCartney. A lot of like test pressings and stuff like that, which is pretty uninteresting, in my opinion, right now at least. Smithfield Market of the Shakespeare on Globe. Only a few were pressed. Let's check that out. I never heard of that. I don't think so anyway. Smithfield Market. Smithfield Market. Yeah. Field Market. Am I spelling Smithfield Market? No, I think that's it. Fuck. Smithfield Market. Oh, that's it. It's not even on Discogs. Or I'm totally like, see if it's here. Smithfield Market. No. Okay, screw that. Queen Elvis, Moonglows, Paul McCartney, Cadets. Mark Bolan, Electric Warrior. There were a different version. I hate when they do that. Madonna Singles, Sharp Sugar and Pee Wee. Him and the Others. Wooden Horse again, £800. You have Spring Guns of Tolgas. This is a cool one. So Spring Guns of Tolgas, Yak with a Feather. This is a Gershon reissue not long ago. Spring Guns were formed as at Cambridge with husband and wife Mandy and Mike Morton. Cult classic was produced by Steely Span's Tim Hart. Let's check that out because I feel like a £750 record. I definitely think that it's gone up in even more in value. But let's see. Brigands. Jack with a Feather. And on Ilda Star. Oh, holy shit. So 2,700 euro median, 3,100 as top mark. And back 20 years ago, we had it at 750 plus pounds in this case. So obviously, again, maybe we already knew that investing in records would be a good thing to do. And there are a bunch of different test pressings and stuff like that with from artists like David Bowie and there we go, David Bowie and Stones, Delaney and Bonnie, George Harrison, Rolling Stones, Little Wilbur, Buddy Holly, etc., 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 Nirvana. But I feel like it's not that interesting to really talk about, because they are sort of one-off records. Smith's Mike, Elton John, AJ's The Cupids, Tours Hammer again. Have to check that out. Joker's Wild, also a Sing 7-inch. The Plebs Oak, one-sided test pressing. Focal Point, Midas 1972, previously rated as 420. Okay, so this is pretty neat. Here's a record that I actually don't know about. Focal Point, Midas 72, valued at £1,300, previously rated in Record Collector Magazine, I think, or RRPG. Anyway, at 425. But growing interest in British folk has seen this atmospheric LP sold for 1,300 by Oxfam recently. Let's check that out. Maybe it has plummeted afterwards. Maybe it hasn't. Cool to Focal Point. So £1,300. Now, yeah, one for sale. £4,000. One sold for £1,300, maybe. No, £300. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. So it's actually sold in 2017 for what it was valued at in 2006. But you have to pay $4,000 to actually score a VG copy to today in the United Kingdom. That's pretty awesome. So again, it's gone up. No really like surprise there, I guess. Sex Pistols, Uglies, Drifters, Willie Dixon, U2, Bread and Beer Band. The Bread and Beer Band. This is Elton John in his pre-stardom. Red, White Days, and blah, blah, blah. Is that an LP? I don't know. Dark around the edges, £1,800. It's worth a little bit more than that today. Penguins, Kate Bush. So yeah, thank you. We'll jump forward to, this is 2012. So 2012 record collector, 200 rarest records today. Let's see if there's any other surprises on here. Looks like this. It starts with the Arsatial, the first UK press on Evolution. So £800. I think that's a pretty good price today if you want one. Red Love and Dreams on Amaryllis, £800. Clover, Snip Slip again. It's a single. Nick Drake, 5 Leaves Left. I think that Nick Drake records has just like skyrocketed, and it will continue to climb, is my prediction when it comes to the collectability. Fleur de Lis, Gloria Hunter, Holocaust, Catherine Howe. This is a nice one. I've never heard this, but I've seen it in a lot of lists and stuff like that recently. So it feels like one of those like folk records that has started to have a life of its own, maybe. Let's check that out. Catherine Howe. Hove. Catherine. I can't spell. Catherine, maybe Catherine. Sorry. I have it in one want list. Woo! Reflection Records. Yeah, 800 pounds back in 2012. So this is 12 years ago. No, yeah, 12 years ago. And you can score a copy for 900, a VG Plus copy for 850 euro, which is about what it went for back in the day. Maybe even a little bit less, because we have a pound and we also have inflation to sort of take in thought. Catherine Howe, a wonderful concept LP tied together by spoken word pieces. Maybe that's the reason why it's not that popular. It's still a 850 euro record. July on Major Minor. That's the one that I have. A psychedelic classic. The sleeve sums it all up. Sound and era. 800 pounds. I think that it's a little bit more today than it was in 2012. Zacharias is also a great Psych record on DRAM that is super hard to get. I think that all DRAM records has just skyrocketed in price. I don't think that there's anyone that is less expensive today. And I've actually tried to score a French press of the Cold Cuts record. Hopefully one day I can find one. Arcadium, I think it's again same thing. It has just gone up in price. Billy Harner, what about the music instrumental? Norman Hines band, also one that has gone up in price. I think that's more than 900 pounds today. Linda Hoyle, which is sort of a famous Vertigo Swirl record on place number 173. Pieces of Me, great one. And Elias Hulk on 172 with Unchained, 900 pounds. I think that is a pretty good investment. If you, like prog album with Marvel inspired cover, rated 350 pounds in 2012 guide. And this is 2012. So okay, that's weird. Locomotive, not to be confused with, I think, Mexican or Spanish compilation record of like flamenco stuff. They used the same cover artwork. I found that in a huge collection that I bought once, and I nearly shit my pants before I noticed that it was the wrong record. So I think that a lot of collectors have shite their pants when they have seen them in thrift stores and flea markets and stuff like that. Beatles Ben, also a Vertigo Swirl record that is 1,000 down here, 1,000 pound back in the day record, which I think is definitely worth more today. Bow Street Runners 1964 on Oak, a DYI EP limited to 900 copies, probably also a rare one today. And SAR on Fontana, this is also a super rare one. 1,000 pounds back in the day. Dog Feet also, but it's still like Psych seems to be the records have just gone up. This is cool. This is Genesis. Genesis from Genesis to Revelation, 1969, Decca, 1,000 pounds, but it's the mono version. I have that, but I have the stereo version. Let's check that out. Let's see here. Genesis. I mean, it's definitely not 1,000 pound record when it comes to the stereo version, but the mono version is really, really rare one. I think it's got a lot more shite than it deserves. I think it's a brilliant record, actually. As you can see, I have the stereo version. Let's take a look at the mono. 17,000 Swedish crowns, so that's 1,700 euro, and the top price is 2,800 euro, approximately, obviously. Maybe about the same. I don't know. it's two for sale, 20, but there's a reason why it hasn't been sold. Like, okay, so it's double in price when it comes to what's really out there on Discogs to buy right now, but I don't feel like we can take that as the sort of the truth, not at least 100% truth. Kaleidoscope from 1969 on Fontana, also one that has gone rogue, I think. Elton John plays the Syrian. Megaton, maybe that has gone down a little bit because it's not that good. Megaton, maybe people in 12 years has actually realized that it's a cool record, but it's not the best one. With John Luton from Lucifer's Friend on vocals, this borrows freely from Led Zeppelin. Yeah, maybe, but it's. I have the German first press, but we are talking about the UK first press, obviously. 30,000 Swedish crowns. My God, I didn't know it was that expensive. Like, it's a Swede who's selling it. 2,300 euros approximately. Like, and in VG condition. Median at 3,000 euro, 3,400 is the top. I wonder where the German one is. This is also like out of a collector's standpoint. This is it's always fun to. So you have the UK version, came out in 1971 on DRAM, and then you go to Germany in 1971, and it's a Decca record, and you go from 30,000 Swedish crowns to 900 Swedish crowns. So approximately 2,900 euro less. Somewhere along that line. So yeah, but it's in my opinion, it's worth like 100 euro. Absolutely, if you find the German version, but definitely not the 30,000 Swedish crowns. But what do I know? Oliver Standing Stone, that's also a great one, but I think that's 250 pressed. I think that is one that has gone up. Vashti Bunyan again. I don't know if you can see here. I'm just free. There's still 12 watching. It's incredible. Thank you so much for sticking around. Don't know what I'm doing really. Tintern Abbey, I have a compilation record with them. Really, really good. Pussy with Pussy Plays on Morgan Blue Town. Caterpillar Changes on Vertigo Swirl. 12 ounce Springers of Tolgus with Jack with a Feather. 1,200. And Thor's Hammer again. Thor's Hammer. Dr. C. Will Malone. One that I have, 1,500, around 200 copies of this perfect Baroque pop collector. It was sold 1,500. Is that like 20? Friends, Bowie, Barons, Delaney and Bonnie, Dr. Isha Ross, The Flying Eagle, Blue Horizon. Ross received this album for my label, blah, blah, blah. 99 copies were pressed up to avoid sales taxes. Oh, cool. And we have to check this out. Dr. Isha Ross. Ross. Dr. Ross. Is that it? Dr. Ross. Flying Eagle. Blue Horizon. UK 65 Blues. Someone bought it for 5,000 Swedish crowns, which is $500, but I don't think that's even relevant to look at. Here's one near mint copy in the States selling for 4,800. But it hasn't sold. So maybe, but I mean, 12 years is a long time, especially in the vinyl world, where vinyl records has just skyrocketed in prices, at least some of them. So yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. We're almost at an hour, 54 minutes. I don't know how to conclude this really. It was cool to take a glimpse at where we are at today compared to 2004 and 6 maybe. I don't think we learned anything more than that records is keep on going up, and there's a little bit of a discussion right now about that vinyl records is like this hobby is a bubble that would burst, and that records can't keep on climbing up in value and stuff like that. I don't know if that's maybe a discussion for another time, another place. But I feel like when it comes to original pressings and rare records, in a way, there's only one way to go, really, and that's up. I mean, they won't make new or press new first pressings. So, and I mean, in this age with internet and also the popularity of the hobby, it feels like I don't think that many super rare records will pop up from nowhere, you know. So I think that what we have is what is. You can still find stuff, obviously, in people's homes and so forth, but it gets longer in between, I feel. So yeah, if you have any questions, throw them out there, or stuff that you want to discuss before I shut this thing off. Am I live now? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I'm live now. You're in a thrift store and you spot a very valuable record being sold for 10 Swedish crowns. Yes. It's worth tens of thousands of Swedish crowns. Do you buy it or tell them to price it accordingly? I'll buy it. I'll buy it. Definitely. Like if it's a thrift store, yeah, and if there's like money goes for charity or something like that, maybe I'll throw in something later on down the line. But I spend hours and hours and hours and hours, 10,000 hours in researching this hobby. I've done this for so many years, just like you and all the other people watching this right now. So I just feel like with all hobbies, sometimes, not often, but sometimes it's just like the vinyl gods are shining down on you and you get a reward for all those hours that you have put down. Because if you just like, it's not much if you don't earn much if you think of the sort of the hours that you put down, if you like sell records and stuff like that. But yeah, I would grab it without hesitating. I would probably like do something later on, maybe give something to the charity shop or something like that. But yeah, I wouldn't have any sort of scruples about buying that record. Not at all. Okay, so 10,000s of no, I would buy it. Definitely. I'm that guy. I'm just being honest, but I would buy it. Same thing with a record shop I'm at people's houses. I buy collections. I buy collections of hundreds of records, and sometimes it's just like out of a financial standpoint, it's just shit, and sometimes there's gold, and you can't really. I would spend days and days at people's houses if I were to value every single record, putting a price tag on it and then haggling down a price for that record. When I buy a collection, I throw out a number that I think is fair for the entire thing, depending on what I can get for it. And sometimes, or most of the times, they are flabbergasted of how much money it actually is worth and what I am giving to them. And at other times they don't feel it's worth it and they can keep the records, and that's fine. That too. I always say that to everyone that I go home to, if they are at fraction hesitant of selling their records, I always tell them to keep them. They can always sell the records later on down the road, and they are welcome to call me. But you can't really regret and take records back after you have sold them. A perfect example is I'm working with a guy now who is the drummer for a Swedish pop group called Gyllene Tider. He's the greatest guy on earth. And we've talked back and forth because he's finding awesome sort of, this is one of the biggest pop groups in Swedish history. And he's finding stuff now, like acetates, test pressings. He has like 4 or 5 copies of the most valuable EP that they were released, and he has sent me pictures like, should we sell this? You know, I'm helping him out, and I always tell him, like, don't sell anything that you might regret later on. Keep those and just sell the ones that you don't have any sort of emotional connection to. Yeah. Rambling on now. So yeah, fair enough. I don't know. To each his own, I guess. I mean, yeah, it's to each his own. I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know if this was anything worth watching actually, but all live streams can't be the best live stream, I guess. So yeah, take care everyone. See you in my next video and have a great evening.